Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome back to the channel, people. KG is here. It is a live stream transfer talk. The confirmation is finally here. Jakob Bijol is a Leeds United player. Long overdue. This one's been in the works for a while, but he is here and he looks brilliant. He looks great and he looks very enthusiastic to get going. We're going to get into a few of his comments and just your general thoughts and feelings about the signing. I know it kind of feels like it's a bit not underwhelming. That's not the right word, but it's like we knew this was happening, so it's kind of like okay. But let me get your thoughts on this signing regardless. And listen, shout out to everyone that's been catching up with the videos. I released a new one today, so if you haven't seen that one, go and watch it. Obviously ignore the first 5 minutes or so where I'm talking about where is Jakob Bijol confirmation yet. Fast forward that, I'm aware he's been announced as we are doing it here. So yeah, people, like the streams, like the videos, subscribe to the channel and all that good stuff, man. What's going on, man? How you doing, Russ? Barry here saying this will encourage other signings that we mean business. Absolutely, Barry. For me, the first one didn't do it. Metcha. I think if we're being really honest, we're just hoping for the best with that one. His track record is not great, and his games played less than Patrick Bamford isn't promising. But this is one where you say, all right, this is the building blocks. Does this now entice a Nick Pope to come along and say, Strauch, Roden, Bijol? I think I can work with that. This is what you have to do. Now it has to be the next one up for me. I'm excited about Jakob Bijol being here. He was definitely one of my first choices centre backs this summer, so I'm delighted that he's here. It's just that we kind of did this like over a week ago, right? We did this over a week ago that the here we go and everything. So yeah, glad he's in the building, man. Let's go. Yeah, I had to let him get a honeymoon in. Yeah. Sam saying the signings are getting better. Yeah, I mean, it couldn't have got much worse than Metcha, honestly. Ashley saying, and I was going to say this, Ashley, you're with me here. I liked how honesty appeared rather than the standard same old scripted words. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of new signing bingo in this one, and he was honest. He was dead honest. He said when he was asked a question about Leeds United, have you been watching them? Basically, the answer was no. He said, I know that we've been in the Premier League and then gone down to the Championship. He was asked if we watched any of the run-in towards the end of the season. He said, I might have caught 2 games. Yeah, this guy weren't watching, and that's okay for me. I don't need him to be an avid, knows the club kind of defender. I just need him to do his job. And as long as he performs the way that he's been performing throughout his career so far, I will be more than happy with that. He doesn't know any of the players as well. He didn't even, pretend to know any of the players. So he's getting to know and he's going to build up the chemistry naturally. I actually enjoyed it, Ash. You're right. There wasn't a lot of, new signing bingo in this interview. So long may it continue. Also as well, he loves a tackle, which is great to hear. You know what I mean? It's great to hear. Julie saying here, evening KG and everyone else. Hope everyone is okay, and I do too. Good to get another through the door. Yeah, and we need to continue with that, Julie. Let's keep this up. Hopefully it doesn't take like a whole week for the next one to come in though, because bloody hell, this one went on, didn't it? Listen, I said in the earlier video today, I was willing to do a video, doing this thing over the weekend. It was very, very hot though, so I was kind of glad in a way we didn't announce it on the weekend. But my Lord, we took our sweet time, didn't we? Sam, who's next? Well, we shall find out. We shall find out. But listen, we have announced it. Oh, someone said as well that on IG, there wasn't much. It's a very plain announcement by Leeds United. I don't mind it though. I don't mind that it hasn't come with a big old video and everything else like that. I think it kind of goes with the signing that we've got here. Seems to be very just straightforward, just straight and narrow, nothing flashy about him. I think it kind of goes with his signing, and also it goes with what I did mention a couple of videos ago about Fabrizio Romano and all these guys kind of taking away the excitement of signings because they've announced it. I mean, Fabrizio announced it literally 8 days ago. So it kind of takes it all out of it. So by the time he signs, people have already kind of got used to him. So it kind of takes it out for the media people. That's what they really get upset with Fabrizio about. But listen, until agents and players stop talking to Fabrizio, you're always going to run up in that problem. Rusty is saying, loves a tackle. Hopefully he can head in a few too. I think so as well. I think he's going to get a couple of goals. I know I said that about Joe Roden as well. But listen, Joe Roden scored this summer for Wales. I do think Bijol will score for us. But his primary job is keep that ball out the net. And listen, what say you, man? Because, like I say, I do think we're going to have a change of system this season. I do. And providing Pascal isn't sold this summer, I could easily see this being a back three of Strauch, Bijol, and Rodon. But I'm expecting it to be Bijol and Rodon first, and I do like the sound of that. That just sounds like just hard, real men at the back there. Just no nonsense, no fannying about with the ball. Just clear that thing at all costs. I like the sound of that. But at times, if we have to go with the ball playing centre back and Strauch and then Bijol next to him, I'm not too mad at that as well. I still think we will need another defender, and whether that be a loan or something else, we'll see. But we will need 4 centre backs. But yeah, I like the sound of the combination so far. But we do need a goalkeeper for them as well. They need that. They need that. So Jakob Bijol, I'm not going to do the club one because it's just pretty your standard stuff. 5-year deal. He signed, committing his future till Ellen Road till 2030. 26-year-old makes a move from Serie A club, enjoying a stellar season where he made 37 appearances across all competitions last season, scoring twice. Started out as a defensive midfielder, which you mentioned before, and he's now centre back. He's played at Champions League, Europa League level. 63 caps for Slovenia. The defender played every minute for his country in their run to round 16 of last summer's Euros, notably helping the side keep a clean sheet against England in the group stage. And we welcome him to Yorkshire. Yeah, lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Some of his comments. There's not a lot in the actual written form here, so I do advise you to go and watch the video if you haven't seen it, just so you can get the full scope of what he was saying. This is a big day for me, for my family, and I'm happy to be here. Maybe the biggest one of my career so far, but I'm ready for it in terms of challenges for next season. I will work for it, and that's why I'm here, because it's a big challenge for everyone. It's a big challenge for me, for the club, and we're getting ready for it together. I think the club and myself are ready for the Premier League. I can promise I will give everything, that I will give everything in training, and we'll be ready for the first game of the season and just go from there. Yeah, pretty much no frills, people. Pretty much no frills in terms of his interview. There's a lot more on the video, but yeah, there doesn't need to be any pomp and circumstance with a centre half. Save that for the attacking players. One of those. Save it for them. Ashley is saying he also mentioned if I'm selected, suggesting he's happy to rotate in and out rather than expect to be a first team starter. Yeah, I don't think anyone at this point in time of this current squad. I find it very difficult to believe anyone's got a right to say I deserve to start. I think there's room for improvement in almost every position. So I don't think we've got any out and out starters now. If we sign someone unbelievable and you basically have to guarantee them first team football, then that's a whole different story. But I do expect Bijol to be one of the starting defenders at the start of the season. I do. But yeah, I don't think we've got anyone like last season where it would have been like we need to build around these pieces. I think there's scope for improvement in a few areas. I do. Jed here saying starting defensive left back and goalkeeper next year. Just keep it all building up. Get the defense sorted out, man. We cannot go into this with a wonky defense. By the way, does anyone know? I mean, it doesn't matter because we've got to keep our own house in order, of course. But Burnley are having to replace quite a few pieces. Sunderland have lost Joby Bellingham, and apart from signing Enzo Lefebvre, I don't think they've done much else. We've come up and we've stayed in pretty good nick. All we're doing is really losing Junior Firpo, which for me is not a loss at Premier League level. So I think that we're going to be doing all right. And if we do finish below Burnley and Sunderland, we've done something very wrong. But I think we're going in a good way. And I also look around the league, people, and I can't help but look at Brentford. Maybe they'll be fine. Maybe they will be absolutely fine. But Keith Andrews coming in as their first team, for his first managerial job at Premier League level, that's a risk. Kelleher in goal after having Flecken in goal, that's a risk. Possibly losing Mbuemo, losing your manager Thomas Frank, that's risky. Forest, who knows how they're going to cope with Europe and the Premier League next season. I'm just trying to draw in as many teams as possible, people. I'm just trying to draw in as many teams. And I've just look around. I look at Brentford. I'm thinking it could work, but it might not. It might not. Gavin here. Sorry, KJ, but Nat Phillips is signed for West Brom. Is that true, Gavin? Is level. Again, people could talk about me all they want, but I'm right. It's one of those things. I just know. People really wanted to spend 10 million Great British pounds on Nat Phillips to bring him to Leeds when we got relegated. I had no idea what they were talking about. They just saw Liverpool and said, we've got to sign him. He's played in Liverpool. He must be good. Terrible, man. Left back is sorted. Byron might start an extension, mate. I honestly, until people keep mentioning it, I keep forgetting we've actually offered him a new deal. But yeah, Sam here saying, "Can we get Fofana in next picture, please?" Yeah, yeah. Listen, Fofana, Nick Pope, whichever one is good with me, whichever one. And as we see now with James Trafford, and Newcastle negotiating with Burnley, I do think it opens the door wide open for Nick Pope to leave. Like I said in the early video, it's one thing saying I'm going to fight for my place, but once that goalkeeper comes in and they're going to invest a hell of a lot of money to get in James Trafford, and they're going to probably tell Nick Pope, it's not going to happen for you here. You're going to be third choice. They're going to probably make it a little uncomfortable for him. People can say it's harsh, but that's how clubs get business done. You have to make things uncomfortable, which I hope that some of our current crop are getting uncomfortable. I do. I think that there needs to be a couple of people departing, and the club needs to make it clear you've got no future here. You can't just keep on being, you've done so well for us in the past. You've done really well, but no, you've got to be a bit ruthless, man. And I think Newcastle will do that because they'll want to get Nick Pope off the books and get a bit of money for him. So we'll see what happens with Nick Pope. I'm keeping an eye on that one for sure because I would love Nick Pope at the football club. But yeah, you hear Fofana, I'd love him too. You know what I mean? There's no wrong answer for me in that one. Yeah, and that's the other thing. I mentioned it in the earlier video as well. Burnley have already signed a replacement, so I don't think Nick Pope is going to go back to Burnley either. But yeah, anything else on Jakob Bijol? Honestly, I think if we had done this maybe 5 days ago, there'd be a little bit more buzz. I mean, I have put in a little poll. Yeah, okay. People happy with Yaka 91%. Good. Took long enough. Who's next? 9%. Okay. Yeah. What else have we got? Let me just see if there's anything else. Uh, Norfolk. Yeah, very, very good name. His interview was very calm with a positive and positive with a slight arrogance, which I like. Yeah, yeah. That's another thing. I need that. But I've said this for years, people. I've said that we need players with egos. We need players that believe in themselves, not like the last lot that were all kumbaya happy families but didn't have much talent between them. We need players that believe in themselves. That's how you get things done. And yeah, you're right. He does believe in himself, but that's what you need at this level. You can't have, oh well, I can improve and I think I can get better. Nah, we've been there, done that, and it doesn't work for this football club. So yeah. Uh Sam here, what's the DJ contract situation? He hasn't signed a new one. That's the situation. He hasn't signed a new one yet. Ryan here, the main man. Hope you well. Hope you well too, man. Chris, does Pascal stay or do we sell? All depends on PSR, Chris. I guess we'll find out. Look, we're near the end of June, so if there's anything that needs to be done before this PSR period, before the new one starts on 1st of July, it's going to happen in probably the next week or so. And I'm looking at other clubs as well. I saw, talking on the video earlier about Buendia. Man, I'm looking at Villa for someone like, Jacob Ramsey. If you want to take advantage of Villa, go get someone like that instead of Emi Buendia. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because what happened this time last season. And there was like a little carousel of Premier League clubs doing business with each other. And they were putting in figures that were just not realistic for the players they were selling. You haven't even heard of the players since they've been sold, by the way, but it was all to do with making the PSR and making the books better. And listen, that's something I never want to get involved in. But if Leeds United do need to sell someone to balance the books for this period, so be it. But it will be interesting to see who who they do get rid of if they have to. And yeah, that's always ideal, Chris, as well. Need 2 players in each position. Absolutely. Hope, yeah, no passion. I know, yeah, there is passion there, but yeah, let's not go with Rasmus. Let's not go with that. No transfer bingo in this one, Lewis. Yeah, go watch his video. There was nothing, it's a big club and all that stuff. None of that bingo. He kept it very straight, and very honest as well. But yeah, it's about now for me. What's next? What's next? We've got Jakob Bijol in the door. For me now, this is I only count this as our first real major signing. Look, if Metra comes good, cool. But I've got to say, I'm not expecting too much from him just from his previous output. So anything from him is a bonus, in my opinion. This is our first real signing now for the squad. What else do we do now? What's next for this football club? How do we get even better and pull ourselves away from Burnley, Sunderland, and hopefully a couple of others as well? He's gonna have to. He's gonna have to. Who's that? RK? Who's that? I don't know who that is, Gavin. I don't know who that is. Just trying to think. We get linked to like 100 players. You're gonna have to, spell it out. People aren't all CR7. You have to have status to have that kind of thing. But yeah, that's it for me. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it as straight as normal. If this video was like 5 days ago, there would be a little bit more, but we're gonna keep it there. If you've got anything to say, obviously put them in the comments and everything else, people. Okay, Matt C. Would you go Harrison Burrows left back? Nah, not for me, Matt. He would have been one of those that if we had got him and got promoted with him, I would have been happy with him as an option, sure. But once you get promoted, I think you have to be looking in a different direction. Much like who's the top scorer before? Schmadix. Yeah. If we had got him last summer and we went up with him, I'd have said good for an option, cool. But I wouldn't now outright buy Sammy Schmadix now. For me, that doesn't make any sense. There's obviously, exceptions to the rule. I said I wanted Harmer last summer. I still want Harmer this summer because he proved without a shadow of a doubt he is going to be a Premier League player, and I do want it to be with us. But yeah, for me, no Harrison Burrows. I think he probably stays at Sheffield United anyway. But no, I think we're going to go down a different path when it comes to that. No, okay, not that one. Yeah. Has this only just happened? Next, please. Yeah, I hear it. But yeah, listen, people, that is it for the video. We're just going to leave it there. Like it before you go, please. Helps out the channel immensely. And I'll see you in the next one, whenever that may be. I am going to be away for a couple of days at some point this week, but I'm going to try and record a couple of videos. So stay tuned to the channel. Watch them anyway. You know what I mean? I'm just going to put them out there to you as we enter our next Premier League phase. But yeah, I will be away for a few days, but I will take my recording stuff with me and do it like I did before when I was at my mum's. And you guys seem to enjoy the chaos of that anyway. So yeah, we shall see. Russ saying here, DR and X, please. Absolutely. Please, DR. Please. Douglas Louise, Harmer, any one of you. Uche, come through the door. Let's go. But guys, I'll see you in the next one, people. Jakob Bijol, welcome to the club, man. And hopefully this is a long and successful relationship. See you in the next one, people. Peace out.